Hello and welcome back to Being a Geek. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. In this session, we'll go over the working of hash map in Java. Let's start with what exactly is a map. A map is a data structure which gives us a way to store our data in key value pairs. Maps are based off of associative arrays data structure. It's best to use a map when we have a value which is represented by another value. For example, pin code or zip code is a representation for the city. So in this case, our pin code is the key and the city name is the value. Maps give us a way to look up values using keys. That brings us to our next concept, which is what exactly is a map in Java. Map in Java is an interface. It's a part of java.util package. It gives us a way to store data inside an object in key value pair form. There are a set of characteristics that a map must satisfy. First of all, a map cannot have duplicate keys. Secondly, each key can have only one value associated to it. And next, one key is allowed to be null. Only one null key is allowed. You can have any number of null values. Now that brings us to our next concept, which is hash map. Java.util.hashmap is a part of Java collection. Hashmap gives us a way to implement map interface in Java. It is one of the most used map implementations in Java. It gives us a way to store our data in key value pairs inside the object. Why do we call hashmap hashmap? It's an implementation of a map, that's why it's called map. And hash comes from a technique which it uses called hashing. Hashmap internally uses this hashing technique to store and retrieve data from the array, the associative array data structure on which it is based. Now by default, the size of our hash map or the size of the array for our hash map is 16. Now let's get started with the working of hash map. As we are going to get started with the working of hash map, there are some key concepts and how they are used inside hash map which you must know. First of all, equals method. Equals method checks for equality between two different objects. We use it to compare keys in hash map. This is a method of object class. You can override this method, but there is a contract. If you are overriding equals method, you must override your hash code in accordance with the way you override your equals method. If you are not able to implement the overrided functionality of your hash code, you can depend on some IDE to do that for you. That brings us to hash code. What exactly is a hash code? Hash code again is a method of object class. It returns us the hash code of the object we pass it. It's a numeric representation of that object. The value received from this object, from this function for the key object, is used to find the index of the bucket inside our associative array where that particular key value pair must be stored. The bucket is indexed, is the index on which that value is stored. As I told you earlier, our hash map has default capacity of 16 buckets ranging from 0 to 15. So the index calculated using hash map is from 0 to 15 initially, unless the value of n increases. And if we are passing null value, the index is calculated to be 0. Now that brings us to our next concept, which is bucket. What exactly is a bucket? Our hash map implementation is based off of associative array. We have array or a table, or we can call it table as well, in which there are 0 to 15 indexes. On each index, index we have a bucket. A bucket can be a single node or can be a linked list. We'll get back to that in some time. There is some data on each node of our bucket. Each node must contain the key hash, the key, the value, and address to next node if any. Now let's look at how hash map gets populated or how hash map works, starting with populating the hash map using put method. Now put method is used to put data into our hash map. It takes two parameters, key and value. Both are of type object. What does this put method return? If we are passing a fresh key, in that case our put method would return null. If we are passing an existing key which is already part of that map, in that case the put method would override the value corresponding to that key with the value we have provided and would return the earlier value which was associated to that key inside map. So it would return null in case of new key and value which was earlier associated to that key if the key is repeated. Now that brings us to how do we populate our hash map using put. For this we use a technique called hashing. We calculate our index using hashing. First of all, we pass the key to hashcode function and get a hash code for that key. Then we apply bitwise AND operator on our hash code and the maximum index of our hash map, which is n-1. Since the index starts from 0, the default capacity of hash map is 16, so by default it is 15. This would give us the index on which a particular element should go. For example, if I pass null, in that case the index comes out to be 0. So at the 0th index I have placed this node where I have null value which represents the key, then the value, and then we have null which signifies that there are no further references from this node. This is a single node, this is not a linked list. Similarly, if I pass key 1 to this function here, key 1 goes to hash code. We calculate the hash code for key 1 and then we apply bitwise AND on hash code of key 1 and n-1 which is 15. So for that we get 3. With 3 we again perform the same action. Key is key 1, value is value 1. Null signifies that there are no further references from this node. Now I pass key 2 to the same function. We calculate the hash code, then we calculate the index, and the index turns out to be 7. And we populate the value for that particular node with key 2, value 2, and node next address or node next node null. Then we pass key 3. Now key 3 will come here, same calculations happen, and the index turns out to be 7. When we go to 7, we see there is already a node. We create a new node with key 3, value 3, and next address null. We put the address of this particular new node into the previous node which was at index 7. So now we have a linked list of size 2. First element of the linked list is key 2, value 2. Then we have the address to next element. We get to the next element, we have key 3, value 3, and there is no further element, so the value is null. Similarly, we use the same technique to populate key 4 and key 5. Now this is the way we populate data into our hash map. Now we get to the working of get operations. How do we look up using key inside our hash map? For this we have get method which takes a key which is of type object. This method will take the key object and return the value associated with that key. For this we again use the same method to calculate the index using hashing technique. We pass the key to hash code, it returns us the key hash, and then we pass that key, we apply bitwise AND on the key hash and n-1, and it would give us the index. Now for example, in this case, if I pass key 1 to our get would pass the key hash code, and from hash code and n-1 we get the index. We look up at that index, we get a node. At this node, first we'll compare the key hash which we have saved with the hash code of the key we have received. If that matches, in that case we'll compare the values of the key. Both the key objects are compared for equality. If the keys are equal, then we'll return this value. Since we have passed null key and here it is null key, we'll return this value from get function. Whereas if I pass key 3, in that case what would happen is key 3 is passed to hash code, we apply the hashing technique and get the index. We go to the index 7. At index 7 we get the key 2. We compare the hash code. If the hash code doesn't match, in that case we move on to the next node. On the next node we again compare the hash code. If the hash code matches, then we'll compare the keys. We have passed key 3, and on this node we again have key 3. Both the keys match, so we'll return the value 3. That's how we read value from our hash map. Now that brings us to the changes in Java 8. There were some issues with this implementation, since there were instances where there were a lot of key collisions, when for different keys we have same index, that is called virtual collision, or key or index collision or key collision. So in that case, what we had is we had a big linked list, out of which we had to traverse to find the element. Since linked list doesn't allow random access, so we had to go through the entire linked list to find an element, and in worst case we would find the element at the end of the list, which would give us the worst case complexity of this approach of the order n. The best case complexity of this approach is of the order 1 if we find that on the first index. Now to handle this worst case complexity issue in Java 8, the buckets which are containing a large number of colliding keys will store their entries in a balanced tree instead of a linked list. So we start with a linked list, we keep adding to that linked list on each collision. When the size of that linked list crosses a particular index, the implementation of that linked list is changed to a balanced tree. Now this increases the performance of search operation or lookup operation. After implementing binary tree, we have the worst case lookup performance of the order log n, which is a considerable improvement. The best case is again the same of the order 1. Now the next question is, how do we convert the linked list to a binary tree or balanced binary tree? So that conversion is based off of hash code. It uses hash code for our branching mechanism. We give it more of a implementation of balanced binary search tree. Now while converting the list from linked list to the tree, we use the hash code of keys. If the hash code of the key is lesser than the hash code of other key, or hash code of key 1 is less than hash code of key 2, then key 1 will go to left and key 2 will go to right. The similar approach is used for all the nodes, and in this way we are maintaining a tree in which left node is smaller and right node is larger. If two keys are equal, in that case we compare the key values to find which one is greater than and which one is less than, and based off of that we place the key on right and left. This implementation has increased the performance of HashMap in Java considerably. These changes apply to HashMap, linked HashMap, and concurrent HashMap in Java 8. That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you.